Party hats are probably the most iconic item in RuneScape and maybe even within gaming. The NFT of RuneScape, the most expensive items in the game, but they have been a problem for a very long time. But I think I might have a solution. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on guys? My name's Chevalric and today we're going to be talking about party hats in RuneScape, the problem with it, and my possible solution for the issue at hand. Because Jagex actually recently spoke out about party hats and no one really has been talking about it. And that goes for all rares, but obviously party hats being the most iconic ones. But it goes for all discontinued rares that are above max cash tag or are just ridiculous price in general. And they kind of spoke out about it in their recent live stream. So I will be going over that, some little history, and obviously the problem and my solution for it. And I actually found out something very interesting about it during my research for this topic. So definitely stay tuned for that. If you're going to enjoy this video, definitely go give it a like, comment, join in with the discussion in the comment section down below. Let me know your opinion on the matter at hand. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. So let me just give you a quick history on party hats because I love this. So I looked it up and I found out about something very interesting. Obviously, we all know that party hats have been since in the game since 2001 and were widely available. And especially there was a dupe going on back in the day that you could even dupe party hats, and there were so many in the game and people didn't really, you know, see value in it. And that is very crazy to think now, but back in the day it was just a paper hat. I mean, it's still a paper hat with no stats, but obviously it is a status product right now. And kind of through the history of RuneScape, it really had different uses, which I think is very interesting. It kind of went from a common to a rare, which it made it into an item that people just want to have to kind of flex on people. But then it also turned into an investment / wealth storage, especially when, you know, I guess before shards. It didn't really specify in the wiki, but I assume it would be before shards, and even after shards it's still a good investment because, let's be honest, party hats are probably the only thing within RuneScape besides maybe shards. But yet again, shards equals money, and money goes down in time, aka inflation. But you know, party hats kind of go up with inflation as well, so they kind of stay the same price in a way over time. So it's the perfect investment when it comes to inflation, and especially to store your wealth. And I mean, if you had a couple bill laying around back in the day, which nowadays doesn't sound like a lot, and obviously back in the day was a lot of money, you were able to just buy a party hat, and it was actually an endgame goal for most people. Even till a few years ago, it was still a realistic endgame goal, because, you know, a couple tens of bill to make as a PVMer or just anything within the game isn't too difficult. Let's be honest. Like, if you know the metas, if you have the gear, if you have everything, you know, to slay the best slot bosses and do them and have the skill, it isn't too difficult. I mean, me and my friend literally made like 1.5 bill each over the last 3 weeks. So, I mean, that's, let's call it 2 bill in a month. I mean, if a party hat was still 20 bill, that would take us 10 months to get a party hat, which is literally we're playing an hour every single day going to Zami. So it would be possible if those prices were still around. And obviously, if you don't know, they're currently sitting above 100, some even above 200 bill. They're fluctuating a little bit, especially since the announcement Jagex recently did, because Jagex actually talked about it. Jagex actually talked about it in the live stream that they did with the RS guy. Link in the description if you want to watch the full video on it as well, and I will also put one in the cards up there. And they kind of said that they see the rares problem, so the party hats, the Halloween mask, the black sand hat, etc, etc, all discontinued items that go for ridiculous amounts of money and that are, you know, hoarded by usually a small few, and it's just kind of traded in between them, and no new people actually getting party hats. It's not really an end game goal anymore, and they spoke on it, and they see it different to the merging problem, or just the, you know, above max cash tag. If you don't know, they're gonna increase the max cash tag value within RuneScape. Max cash tags will still be around, but you can just have multiple, and your coin pouch will pretty much be infinite. Same goes with the Grand Exchange. You can just put any money on the Grand Exchange, and you should be fine. And that is a good thing, because honestly, the worst thing is getting above max cash tag drop and having to stand at World 2 and just have to wait for someone to trade you, hoping you get a good price, probably getting merged. And I mean, they kind of said that they see merging as a part of the game, and I don't mind that stance, if I'm gonna be honest, because let's be honest, if you have the patience to buy an FSOA for 3.2 bill, and then to sell it for 3.4 bill, then kudos to you. Like, you're not really scamming anyone. I mean, you're just having the patience to wait for someone who pays the price, and it is a fair transaction in my opinion. And obviously, if it is on the Grand Exchange, it will take that away, and obviously that is better for all parties involved, and I would prefer that as well. But I don't mind their stance on merging, but like I said, they actually have a stance on the rares and that they want to tackle the problem. They didn't really state a solution that they wanted to give, but I have one. But I do want to point something out that I found whilst I was doing my research, because at first hand I thought that Jagex actually gave solution in the live stream, which they didn't, because I just watched it back and there was none, so I guess it was just in my head. But apparently, Modmark said the following a couple years back. There was no date on the wiki, so if anyone knows what the date was on this, please let me know. But Modmark said the following: that if a large number of discontinued rares actually fell victim to a bot nuke, Jagex would look at ways to reintroduce them, probably via the Grand Exchange. So pretty much meaning that they would make an estimate of how many rares were in the game in general and would reintroduce them via the Grand Exchange. Obviously, we all know that that's not possible, because, I mean, if we can all get a Partyhat at 2.147 bill at this moment in time without the max cash tag increase, then it would kind of be weird, because people sell them for 100 bill and then you would just reintroduce them for 2.147 bill for the lucky people that have had offers in for probably over 10 years at this point, because that's how the Grand Exchange works. The oldest offer will be honored first over other offers. So I don't think that would have been a great way to introduce them. Let's be honest, they probably would have done it via Treasure Hunter. Even if they did, it would be strange. But the idea of reintroducing them is a good idea, in my opinion. But I don't think they should just see the number of ones that were in the game and reintroduce them that way. I think they should do it in a different way. And I think that kind of leads into what they said in the live stream. In the live stream, they actually said that they would love for party hats to be an endgame goal. Because, as I said before, it used to be an endgame goal for the game for such a long time, for when you had the best in slot gear. And obviously, I'm aware that best in slot gear back in the day, even though obviously inflation, etc., but there was less best in slot gear and it was less expensive, and you know, it didn't come into the game maybe as quick as it does now. I mean, especially the price we're paying now for the bows and for the staffs and even for the armor sets, it's ridiculous. And so you make more money as well, and it is balanced in a way. But I do feel like it was slightly easier, if you knew what you were doing back in the day. Let's be honest, we were probably all kids when we were playing. It was easy to get max in slot gear, and you know, after that you needed something to buy, and party hats were the thing, and they want to go back to it. But I don't think just reintroducing them via the Grand Exchange to begin with is a good thing, because let's be honest, the ultra wealthy will still be getting them, and then, you know, if they set a set amount, then we'll have the same issue. Let's be honest, the same issue will just appear, but just with more party hats in the, like, more party hats for the merchants, pretty much, or for like the ultra rich, you know what I mean? So what is my solution? Because I actually thought about it, and I think, and listen, probably someone has actually suggested this before, so please don't tell me like, oh yeah, you stole this idea from this. I haven't heard it, but probably someone suggested it, because it's not like the most clever idea, if I'm going to be honest, but I think it's actually pretty good. Like, I think this would actually solve the problem, is make a shop. Let it be the wise old man for all sake. You will increase the cash stack with the new Grand Exchange update, meaning that you will have infinite cash pretty much available within your cash tag, and you can get a trill or however much money you'll be able to get in there. How about introducing a shop? Like Wise Old Man, because he's such an iconic character, and I mean, he was also the main character in the Golden Party Hat event, so it would actually make sense lore-wise as well. And obviously, he does wear a blue party hat, so it would make sense if he sold them. And what if he sells them for a static price? And this static price, I don't know what it would be, 50 bill, 100 bill. I think 50 bill would be a realistic price, and sure, there would be more in the game, and I understand that, but 50 bill to gain, especially at high level PVM, is, I don't want to say easy, but it's attainable. 50 bill is definitely attainable, which I know it sounds crazy, but like I said, me and my friend just made 1.5 bill each, or let's call it 2 bill each, in a month's time. And I mean, that it would just be 25 months, and right now it would literally take you about 5 years to be able to get a party hat, and then the price will still be going up whilst you're going for it, so it's actually never really attainable if you would really think that that would be like the amount of money you would make every single month, and obviously we've been getting lucky, etc, etc. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is find a static price that works for Partyhats, whether that's 50 bill, 75 bill, 100 bill, I don't know. Like, that is something Jagex needs to figure out. They probably have stats on it, like the average wealth of people, and then, you know, have it certain percentages above it, or like they just want the top 1% of players to be able to have it, so they figure out, okay, the top 1% of players are this rich, thus will make this price. Literally killing all the merching of it, because why would you buy it from a mercher if you can just buy it from a shop where it will always be the same price? And maybe even have it be looked at every single year by Jagex themselves, and apparently they're working with economic experts, so maybe let them analyze it and be like, okay, you know what? It's actually 50 bill right now, but because of the inflation that's in the game, which is this amount, we will have to increase it by 2% or something, just making it like, I think it's like 51 bill, and just like going up with inflation, but also still keeping that somewhat static price, so it is attainable and in line with the inflation of the game. Because unlike real life, as they stated in that live stream as well, in RuneScape, if there's inflation, you will make more money as well. And in real life, there's inflation like there is right now, but your wages are not going up. And in RuneScape, obviously, you know, the other drops are going up as well, so you can actually make more money. Just the actual GP is less worth less in RuneScape. So I think this actually could be the solution to the issue when the max cash stack limit is lifted. Just make a static shop where you can buy it with an inflation calculation built in. Maybe even one like that is just going at all times. I don't know how they would do it. I'm not that technically gifted, but maybe someone in the comment section down below knows that. So let me know what you think about this idea. Let me know what you thought about this video. It was a bit of a history video for parts of it, and a bit of a like mix between all the types of videos that I do. So if you want to see more of these kind of videos, let me know in the comment section down below. And as I said, if you have any opinions yourself, also let me know. Subscribe if you're new, like the video because it really helps me out. And my name's Chevalric. I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.